Yeah. I'm going to leave that there because it's a big number. Hey everybody, it's Ghouliff. What's going on? We are talking about the Rings of Power premiere. There's been a lot of hubbub about this series and a lot of anger, frustration, be it towards diverse casting, with it being a Lord of the Rings IP in general, or Amazon owning it. Many factors to why people might not like it before it's even come out. And now we have an episode. So what do I think? I didn't really care about this show. I like fantasy when it's done well, but this first episode was so boring. I'm sorry, I wanted to fall asleep and take a nap. I completely zoned out whenever Galadriel or Elrond were talking. It was just one of those things where the characters just kept talking, but none of it was of interest. None of it intrigued me. None of it made me think they were interesting characters. First of all, we start the episode off with terrible child acting, and people get mad at me all the time when I say children are bad actors. They go, well, go easy on them, they're kids. And I say, well, they shouldn't have been cast if they're not good actors, because now they're going to get bullied for being a bad actor. But looking back at that budget, that's a lot of money. $715 million. I can see where the money went. I can't see why it doesn't look great. There are multiple scenes of characters standing on cliff sides, bridges, towers, whatever it be. It looks so fake, and it is not tangibly there, and it is so very apparent how it is not there. It immediately sucks me out of the show, and I don't like that. It doesn't look good, and that is no excuse for a show with a $715 million budget. I can see where the money went, and it doesn't look good. The CGI creatures look fine. There's a fight between Galadriel and a troll in the very early parts of the episode, and it looked fine. None of it excited me. None of the action was visceral or quick-paced or engaging. It was just kind of, you roll it out of the way, it swings, and then she stabbed it, and then it fell down, and then she goes, and it's dead. And I felt no tension. The cave troll scene in Fellowship of the Ring is incredibly tense. I remember getting nightmares of that scene when I was a kid because of how horrifying it was for Frodo and all of those characters. That was terrifying, and I felt no tension in that scene with Galadriel and this troll. We got so many trailers before the series came out, and not one of them clued the audience into what the plot is. What is the point of this series? What are we building to? Who's the main character? What is our plot hook? And it doesn't even feel like that watching the first episode. We don't know what the plot hook is. 3 subplots. You have Galadriel searching for Sauron, and my goodness, I was bored to tears whenever those scenes came on. You have the Harfoots, which I actually thought was cute, and it did remind me of the feelings I'd get with the original Lord of the Rings. I liked all those scenes. They were very cute and familial, and there was a lot of cute little set stuff going on. I liked the costuming and that. The performances were all cute and fun and good, and I enjoyed all that. I'm actually interested in that plot. I like those characters. They seem fun and enjoyable to watch. The third subplot introduced, which is, I don't even know the character's name. What's the character's name? They call him a slur. They invented a slur. Knife ear. Sorry, I should censor that. Beep. I'm looking it up. What's his name? Arondir. And the third subplot, with now who I've learned his name is Arondir. I thought Game of Thrones had dumb names because I've been watching House of the Dragon, but I forgot how stupid names are in Middle-earth. Sorry, Middle-earth fans. Their names are stupid. But that plot, nothing got me either. It was not very interesting. The only part of this first episode where I was like, I kind of pricked my eyebrows up a little bit because I thought it was cool and interesting, and I don't know what it means, is also attached to the only plot that I actually enjoyed in this first episode, which was the Harfoots. And you see the little girl Harfoot seeing a meteor go across the sky, and it just crashes into near where they live, and there's an old man at the center of the crater. Now, I don't know anything about Tolkien lore or Middle-earth lore. I'm a surface level fan. I like the Lord of the Rings movies. I don't like the Hobbit movies, and so far I don't like Rings of Power. Spoiler, I don't think this is great. But that was the only part of this where I was like, oh, that's cool. Everything else, I felt like I was falling asleep listening to a history lesson. A lot of the dialogue feels like it's having to explain itself to you. It goes, for example, Elrond will be talking to the Elf King, and the Elf King will go, Elrond, do you know of Bloggy Bloodle? And Elrond will go, ah, Bloggy Bloodle, the master smith of elves. How could I forget? Dialogue like that where it's very blatant that they're trying to get as much information to the audience and it does not come off as natural is incredibly distracting and sloppy and clunky, and it never lands right, and it always sticks out like a sore thumb. The editing in this season, I'm not a fan of the transitions going over the map and then cutting into the area. It's an interesting way of trying to geographically locate the characters on the map of what's going on and what's happening in what areas. It's a good idea, but it always feels really awkward, like I'm in a loading screen for a video game. So these are my just initial thoughts. I literally just finished watching this about 20 minutes ago, and I'm not interested in watching it anymore. We'll see. If this video does well, I will slog through it and talk about it when the show's done. But as for now, that's a lot of money that was blown on this show. And I don't know if this is taking into account marketing budget, rights, but let's think of things you could do with $715 million that you could have not spent on this show. You could have probably helped world hunger. You could have, I don't know, it's a lot of money. I'm not very creative with spending money. Buy a big pool that'd be cool to swim in. It's $715 million they spent. Game of Thrones isn't even close to that number, guys. $715 million. $715 million. Anyway, it's not good. Bye. After recording the first part of this video, I realized that I had not seen the second episode because I thought it was a one episode premiere, and I really did not enjoy that first episode. So I had to watch the second episode, and I wasn't enjoying the first. I was hoping to get this video out real quick, but here we are, and I watched the second episode. The second episode is significantly better than the first. The action actually has some bite to it. I got much more out of the performances from a lot of the characters. I really enjoyed the Isildur plotline where he meets Disa and Durin. All the performances and character work in that scene was really good and really interesting. I liked a lot of that. I like all the dwarf stuff. All the makeup looks great. The VFX and CGI components look far more integrated into the other scenes. I'm still not a big fan of the Galadriel plot going on. It's very boring and uninteresting, and I'm usually zoning out when it's going on. Even with the big fish monster, still didn't do much for me. I still really enjoy the Harfoot stuff. I'm not really sure where they're going with this plotline, but it's intriguing and I like it a lot. I love the aesthetic of their little village, and the performances are all really good there. I don't know. It's fine. I still don't like this show very much, but the second episode's much better. If this video does well enough, I will talk about the entire series. I will talk about the entire season when it wraps up, but we'll see how it does. So like and subscribe to this video if you liked my incredibly sleepy commentary on episode 2. Sorry it was a much lower effort than the first section of the video because I'm very tired and I have to get up early tomorrow morning, and I forgot I watched the second episode. It's still a lot of money. That's still a lot of money, guys. $715 million is a lot of money. We could do so much with that money. We could like solve world hunger probably. We could build a rocket and Jeff Bezos could get in and launch off in space, but just don't let it come back. Just send it into the far reaches. Anyway, I'm going to bed now. Bye.